Okay, so this is day 2 of our Elements of Art booklet. I've already demonstrated for you how to do the cover, how to do line, how to do shape, and you can see form here with the sphere, cone, cylinder, pyramid, and the cube there. And this is kind of an extra, so if you're kind of to the point where you're just doing form today and you're adding color and everything else with colored pencils, that's fine. I'm going to throw some more at you here. By no means do I ask you to do this by the end of the day. We are going to finish these on Friday, so we'll try to be done by then. Okay, so the next element of art that I need you to concern yourself with is value. V-A-L-U-E, value. And value is pretty simple to do. It's a transition from dark to light. You do this all the time without really even thinking about it in your drawings. Some of you do. If you don't, you should probably start thinking about doing this, okay? Because value is simply using light to dark gradient. You can see I have a normal pencil here, and I'm drawing a few rectangles because I'm about to practice value. So if I need to practice my shading, practice my value, my transitions, I'm going to do it like this. So the first box, I'm going to make 3 lines to make 4 boxes here. Okay, so I want 100% here, 75% here, 50% here, and 25% here. So what that means is, for 100%, I'm coloring in full dark. Maybe even go back over it. So that's totally colored in dark. 75% is 75% pressure. So what that means is it's going to be lighter than 100, but I still want it to be fairly dark gray. So it's a little bit lighter, maybe a hair darker than that would be good for me. Okay, so that's 75. Now 50 is half of what 100 was, right? So I'm going to do half as dark. So you see I'm getting lighter as I go. 100, 75, 50, and then 25 will be my lightest one. I mean, barely colored in maybe. So just so you can see a little bit of shading on there. So we have this hard edge, this hard line between 175, between 75 and 50, and between 50 and 100. Now the next gradient, I'm going to go straight from 100 to 25, or you could even put 0 there if you want to. But I'm going to go straight that way without these hard transitions. So I'm going to start out hard, and as I have color in this direction, I'm going to get lighter. Slowly lifting the pencil to make that transition, and I'm kind of trying to match what I have here with what's below. Okay, so you see I got that light gradient transition, dark to light. Okay, that's called your gradient. These are your shade steps, this is your gradient, and then for the bottom one you can practice with maybe a different color. So maybe, I don't know, let's see what I have over here that's sharp. I got green here, so green may be a good one, so I'll go ahead and I'll say, what can I do with the green one? Can I do the same thing with the colored pencil? And by the way, if any of you plan on taking art next year for 8th grade, Mrs. Smith focuses a lot on gradient shading. Okay, she's very heavy into this, especially with colored pencils. So if you practice this year with me, that's a good thing. I don't necessarily require that you do this all the time. I just want to see that you can understand the concept here. And this will help your drawings if you're doing shading. You want to make something look 3D? Use value. Use shading. It'll make it look 3D. Okay, so now that we got value, we're going to go ahead and move on. And the next thing I'm going to do is color. Now, color is fairly easy. If you don't have watercolors at your table yet, I will try to get you some. I have some right here. My watercolors are kind of messy looking. That's okay. You see these splotches in between the paint pans. It's not really a big deal. I can actually use that paint to paint with because watercolors work like this. So whenever I use watercolor, quick demonstration here, I have my bowl of water, and I'm going to dip the brush in the water to get it wet. And I'm going to take that wet brush, and let's say I'm going to do red. I'm going to take that wet brush, I'm going to make the red paint wet here. Now the red paint being wet, there now is going to actually make some paint for me to paint with. So I can take that, move it out of the way, and I can then paint with the red watercolor here. Now you see it's pretty thick. If I want to thin that out, I add more water and it thins out the paint. And I can spread it further. So watercolors need water to work correctly. Okay, so what I want you to do with your pencil or a marker or something like that, for color, just simply draw a wheel and divide it into 6 parts.
Anybody who doesn't have an ID?
No IDs? Anybody have no IDs? Anybody else? So for your color wheel, you're going to label the primary colors, and I'll just write primary here: red, blue, yellow, and then secondary: green, violet, orange. Okay, you should probably know those colors already. It's pretty simple. I hope you learned that in elementary school, so then you can use your watercolors to paint that on there. So I'll just start with red. I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of yellow next. And now I'm going to space out the primary colors so they're not going to be right next to each other. And blue next. Looks like a beach ball. Okay, then maybe I'll do green next. Now, which 2 colors mixed together make green? Blue and yellow, right? So, go ahead and put the green right between the 2 colors used to make it. Same thing with the orange. The 2 colors that make orange are red and yellow. Very good. I see you guys know all this already, which is good that this is review. And then the last color, violet, obviously goes right here in the violet spot. Okay. Now be careful, the watercolors will kind of want to mix together. Once you have the color down, you can use watercolors to go back and decorate anything else on the other concepts you want. You want to use a little bit on your cover, that's fine too. The watercolors is another tool for you to use. So again, form, value, and color for today is probably going to be good to get you guys to that point, and then we will move on to the last couple tomorrow. Thank you.